This is the Louie T Network. Hey, either you're outside or you're
in the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your me? Louie T, welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Rumor Mill exclusive. Have we talked about Marcus Mariota enough yet? Have we ever talked about a player being traded for more in an NFL draft than Marcus Mariota? He's supposed to go here, and he's supposed to go there, and this team is thinking about trading up for him. We don't even know where this guy is going to go. I do know this much. Probably won't be going number one to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think their mind is already made up. But everybody else is in play. Titans are still in play at number 2, which is a big factor in what we're here to talk about today. Could the San Diego Superchargers actually trade Phillip Rivers? Good old Phils. Last year of his deal, normally in this league you don't allow contracts to run out, especially when it's a franchise quarterback. You let Jay Cutler's contract run out. You let Colin Kaepernick's contract run out. You don't let Phillip Rivers' contract run out. You don't let Drew Brees' contract run out. You don't let Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, you don't let those contracts run out. You don't allow these guys to even think about hitting free agency. Well, Phillip Rivers' contract will be up at the end of this season, and both parties have already said nothing will be done about that contract until after the season is over, which means he will then be a free agent. Which begs the question, are the Chargers up to something? Do the Chargers have it in for Marcus Mariota? Do they want to have that young fella on their team? We know that the Chargers are no stranger to controversies at the quarterback position. We know about Phillip Rivers versus Drew Brees. We've seen those type of things happen. We know they don't mind shaking up the quarterback position. But they've had it good over the last decade with Phillip Rivers. Do they want to go back down that road again? That's a very, very good question. And with them not re-upping Phillip Rivers, one has to think that maybe something is up. Now, look, it's a rumor. Rumors are things that usually don't come to fruition. They're just exactly that. They're rumors. What people whisper, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? But they normally don't have a lot of traction, don't have a lot of footing, don't have a leg to stand on. But one has to wonder, with him not getting a new contract, what's the basis for that? I mean, we just saw Big Ben Roethlisberger get a brand new deal. We've seen quarterbacks hit it big once again. Brady just signed a new deal a couple of years ago. Drew Brees just signed a new deal a couple of years ago. These guys are all in their 30s, but these teams value them so much that they gave them new money. What are the Chargers waiting for with Phillip Rivers? The question could be answered with the simple phrase, Marcus Mariota. Now, if they want him, this is really simple. They would need to trade up to number 2 just to be safe. And the funny part about that is, and the reason why this makes so much sense is, remember, Ken Whisenhunt is ex-coordinator of the San Diego Chargers, who is quarterbacked by, you guessed it, Phillip Rivers. You're connecting dots, connect the dots, and it all spells Phillip Rivers going to Tennessee, a team that could use a veteran presence at the quarterback position. Not saying that this team is a quarterback away from doing anything, because that team was god-awful a season ago. They need a lot of help in various areas, but you get a quarterback and that's one heck of a building block to start building that franchise the right way. And so, could Phillip Rivers be the answer to the Titans quarterback quandary? Or could we just be talking a lot about nothing? Much to do about nothing. It's just a little food for thought. I'm done. You do the dishes. The question would become then, would the Chargers have to part ways with their pick in the draft. I believe it's something like 17. Not quite sure on the number. You don't want to quote me on that because I'm not quite sure about the draft order once you get past 10. But I think it's something like 17. Would they have to come off of that pick, or would the services of one Phillip Rivers be enough to swap straight up for the number 2 overall selection in the draft, which would then turn out to be Marcus Mariota? I don't know what compensation is good compensation when you're talking about one of the better quarterbacks in the league. We've never seen that done. We don't see elite quarterbacks be traded. And not necessarily in the prime of their career, but if he's not still in the prime of career, he just left the prime of his career and he's still playing some damn good football. So I won't be the one to say he's not in the prime of his career, but all I'm saying is there's so many obstacles that have to be overcome. Compensation for a deal like that. Do you want to pull the trigger on a deal like that? Both teams I'm speaking of. Do the Titans want to build their team around a veteran that is aging at the quarterback position but still may have a lot of good football left? Do the Chargers want to start over? This is a team that you feel like, with the changes that the Broncos are going through, with the Kansas City Chiefs being a hot and cold football team, with the Raiders still rebuilding their franchise. This is a team that could definitely compete in the AFC West and win that division if they could play consistent football from weeks 1 to 17. They started hot last year, tailed off. If they could remain the consistent football team we saw to start the season all the way throughout, this is a team that could easily win the AFC West division. You trade for Marcus Mariota and you have to start all over again. Do the Chargers want to do that? Is that something that their brass is even entertaining? That's why we love rumors. Again, food for thought. You do the dishes. Wipe the table off. Finish. That's going to do it for me here in the Lab Room. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the Lab Room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything and everything in the National Football League. Chargers fans, I want to hear what you think about this. Is it time to move on from young Philly? Or are you content with number 17 slinging the rock around for the remainder of his career there? Why haven't they made a move yet? Do you want Marcus Mariota in San Diego? I want to hear from you, Chargers fans. What about you, Titans fans? Do you want Marcus Mariota? Do you want Phillip Rivers? Do you not want either one of those guys? I want to hear from you. That's why I love rumors. You gotta love rumors because they spread like wildfire. There's plenty more where that came from. While you're here, subscribe to the channel. If you want more Louie T, be sure to follow me on Twitter at In the Lab Room, or you can like the Facebook page at In the Lab Room. That's In the Lab Room on Facebook and at In the Lab Room on Twitter. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so.
In the L.A.B.